Hey guys, welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 22 with the Detroit Tigers. It is the end of season 2, and it was a really good August and September for us. You see, we ended up 77 and 85. We didn't end up in last place. We ended up in 4th, 2 games ahead of Kansas City. And we went 3-7 in our last 10, so it was even better than that. So we ended up on a really, really high note. I'm really optimistic for next season. We're still going to have a pretty high draft pick. There weren't a lot of really bad teams, so 77 wins puts us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere between 7 and 10, because there are a couple other teams at 77 and 85 as well. So we're going to end up somewhere with between the 7th and 10th pick in the draft, which is pretty good, all things considered. So we take a look at, we'll look at the stats in a second, but if you look at our info, we 8-19 in June, where we sort of rock bottomed. Then we went 15-11 in July and 18-9 in August. We slipped back a little bit in September and October, 15-18 over the last month, but 33-20 between July and August, and that included, I believe, like a 10-game winning streak or something at some point. I thought we had a really, really long winning streak. Maybe not. We won 6 in a row here. 6 in a row. I think this may have been it. We won 6 in a row, 7, 8 out of 9 right here. So really, really good, positive end of the season. We'll start with pitching stats. Just go to WAR. James Paxton ended up only 6-13, but put up a 3.2 WAR for us. Struck out over 200 batters. Was healthy. Started 31 games, pitched 200 innings, and was pretty solid at the top of our rotation. It's entirely possible that we pick up the option. I didn't think for a second that was going to happen, but he pitched well enough that I think for $8 million, it's well worth it. Casey Mize, 2.9 WAR, 15-16. A lot of decisions for Casey Mize in his first full season. 218 innings pitched really, really well. 4.03 ERA. Struck out 8 per 9, 3.5 K to walk ratio. Good year for Casey Mize as well. Zach Pop, his first year as a closer, phenomenal. Only 3 home runs in 49 innings. 68 strikeouts, 12.5 Ks per 9 innings. Was really, really good out of the bullpen for us. Alex Lang, another 103 strikeouts in 66 innings, 1.76 ERA. Another good performance out of the bullpen. Tariq Skubal, 8-16. He struggled a bit. 4.81 ERA. Did strike out over 200 batters. Gave up more home runs, and I guess 1.5 per 9 isn't terrible. You know, if you can get that closer to 1, that would be better. Walked too many. Walked almost 4 per 9. But coming along nicely. Still has some room for growth here, so expect to see something better out of Tariq next year. Will Vest was pretty good out of the bullpen as well. I mean, our bullpen was really, really good. Pop, Lang, Vest, Foster, Delaplane, even down to Zach Lothar, who got a few starts and his ERA was a bit high. Our bullpen was actually really, really good this year. Matt Manning came around over the last couple months of the season. You can see his August to September and his October were quite good. A sub-4 ERA in the last 2.5 months. He went 6-3 between August and October. So he bounced back nicely. Struck out more than a batter an inning over his last 2 months. So good things on the horizon for Matt Manning. Cleonel Perez, we picked him up at the trade deadline, and he was pretty good. 31 strikeouts in 22 innings. Brett DeGauss, who we got from the Dodgers, struggled, but he's only 24, so plenty of room to grow there. Zach Hess, another struggle, but again, he's another young pitcher. And Joey Wentz had a rough go of it. His first run through of major league experience, but I think he'll be fine, and he'll be slotted in as a 5th starter next year, so I'm not really all that concerned as he grows. My only concern here is that he's an extreme fly ball pitcher. He gave up 21 home runs in 84 innings, so that's cause for concern, especially with his movement where it is. So I don't know. You may have to think of something to do with Joey Wentz. Now the lineup, man. The lineup was just fantastic. So Austin Riley, we picked up at the trade deadline, and you can see in 59 games for us, 298, 355, 546, put up a 901 OPS, had 36 extra base hits in 59 games, put up a 2 WAR, and was he was below average defensively, but was very, very good with the bat. Byron Buxton came along towards the end of the season, and I'm glad I didn't move him. 22 home runs, 75 RBIs, 2.4 WAR, and just did Byron Buxton stuff in center field. If he opts out, we'll get a first-round pick for him, and we've got a waiting backup, which I'll show you in a second. But if he doesn't opt out, then we've got our starting center fielder for the next couple of years, which I'm fine with. Carson Kelly struggled with the bat. After coming over, hit 209, but defense is where Carson Kelly gets the job done, and he was really, really good there, so no complaints. Spencer Torkelson came on really strong over the course of the season, ended up hitting 28 home runs, knocking in 65, 1.64, struck out too many times, but if you look at his splits, you can see he bottomed out in June with that 132 batting average, but 233 in July, 312 in August, 244 in September, and 296 in October. So much, much better as the season wore on. So hopes are high for Mr. Torkelson. Victor Reyes, 1.4 WAR, played a lot more than I anticipated he would, and was generally pretty good. Low on-base percentage, low slugging, so his OPS plus wasn't very good. So not all that impactful with the bat, but nonetheless played pretty well. Bryant Packard was just phenomenal after we called him up. As I don't want to say as an afterthought, but I didn't expect that we would get this level of production. 12 home runs, 32 RBIs, 888 OPS in 66 games. If you prorate that out over the course of a season, that's 35 home runs and 120-ish RBIs. So played really, really well, and his performance means that he will factor into our future. Ali Sanchez, his first full season with us, and he'll continue to split time with Carson Kelly, but he did really, really well. Willie Castro, I don't want to say I've soured on, but I would definitely say the bloom is off the rose, as they say. 0.9 WAR, 80 OPS plus, 700 OPS. Again, not a very impactful bat. Good defensively, but we can find good defense. We can find better defense with a bat that would be maybe a bit higher batting average, but with less power, or a higher on base percentage or something. So Willie, we'll have to keep an eye on Willie. Colton Welker was pretty good after coming over as well. 270, 305, 505. Or that's year ref for the year. So for us, he was even better. 306, 349, 541, 11 extra base hits in just 98 at-bats. Leader in the clubhouse, like Colton Welker. Nick Gordon, as a backup middle infielder, he's fine. He can play second and short, so he's fine there. Parker Meadows is the one I was talking about. If we do lose Byron Buxton after this season, Parker Meadows will likely slide into that center field spot. He's not quite as good as Buxton, but who is? Buxton got hurt for a while, and Meadows came into the leadoff spot and did an admirable job. On-base percentage is probably a little low for a leadoff hitter, but did pretty well. Ford Proctor only got 12 at-bats. Vidal Brujan was pretty good. It was okay with the bat, better than what we were getting previously. But again, this was a trade of necessity, I guess. So, and then Mick Rodolfo just with a lost season, 179. Although that is up from the trade deadline when he was at like $130 or something. So, so that is our batting. We haven't gone through any of the playoffs or anything. I'm going to sim all that now. But the Blue Jays won the East by 16 games, 96 and 66. The Twins won the Central. Cleveland with the one wild card. Seattle wins the West, and Houston wins the second wild card. In the National League, the Phillies win the East, Cardinals win the Central, and the Dodgers, 101 wins, win the West. The Reds and the Padres make the postseason out there. League leaders: Rafael Devers, Wander Franco, Luis Arraez. Top three in batting: Miguel Sano, Luke Voit, Giancarlo Stanton, your top three in home runs. Vlad Jr., Austin Meadows, Jose Ramirez, top three in RBIs. Tyler Glasnow led the American League in ERA. Giolito 308 and 308 ERA. Jake Odorizzi finished third. Giolito in wins. Giolito finished second in strikeouts. My guess is Giolito. Oh wow, Shane Bieber, 8.4 WAR, went 16-8. Giolito went 19-5. So it'll be interesting to see which of these three pitchers, Bieber, Giolito, or Glasnow, wins the MVP or the Cy Young. Nick Anderson, 42 saves. Acuna, Seager, Soto, Bellinger, Mike Moustakas, 41 home runs for the Reds. And Acuna Jr., RBIs, Mike Moustakas, Marcelo Ozuna, and Cody Bellinger. Sandy Alcantara leads the National League in ERA. John Gray with the Marlins now finishes second in ERA. Aaron Nola finishes third. Walker Buehler, Aaron Sanchez. Wow. That's a nice bounce-back season for the former Blue Jay. Sandy Alcantara finishes third in wins. Robbie Ray with San Francisco, 257 strikeouts for Robbie Ray, Aaron Nola, and Adrian Morejon. Marquez, Morejon, and Bryce Wilson are your top three in WAR. Sir Anthony Dominguez with 39 saves. So, I'm going to go ahead and sim through the postseason. When we come back, it'll be day one of the offseason. We'll do arbitration and all that stuff. So hang tight. I'll be right back. All right, so we've accomplished our team owner goal, increased profit, and the Seattle Mariners win the World Series. They sweep the Dodgers. 4-0. So Cleveland beat Houston in the wild card play-in. Cincinnati beat the Padres. The Dodgers beat the Reds. The Cardinals beat the Phillies. And then the Dodgers beat the Cardinals 4-2. The Blue Jays swept the Indians. The Mariners beat the Twins. 7-game series in the LCS. And then the Mariners swept the World Series against the Dodgers. So it is the off season. Everybody loves this part of out-of-the-park baseball. So Byron Buxton executed his option, so he will be a member of the team going forward. So he is locked in now for 2 years at about $40 million. That's fine. Fan loyalty dropped. Oh no, that's just terrible. What does that do to our... Okay, so we still have a little bit of money. We don't have a ton. But that does mean we are going to have to be careful about how we spend it. Okay, well, it is what it is. All right. So, end of the season prospect list. We have the top prospect in Major League Baseball. Elijah Green is the number one prospect. And you can see he has gotten better since we drafted him. So, you'll like to see that. So, those of you who suggested Elijah Green, well done. All right, so we have to make a decision on James Paxton. So before we do that, I want to shop him around, and I want to shop Buxton around just to see, so nobody wants Paxton. Okay. What about Buxton? Can we get... Because I wouldn't be averse to handing over the center field job to Parker Meadows if we can improve elsewhere. And what do we need? I would say a middle infielder, shortstop and second base are really the two areas where we are going, or where we struggle. So yeah, Christian Arroyo, who's not bad, making a little more than I would like. Trevor Story, but he's making a ton of money as well. McCullers, but he's making a lot of money. A couple offers from the Dodgers. Severino from the Yankees. Oh, Pete Alonso. Oh, wow. He sort of fell off a cliff. That's no good. All right, so let's try it this way. So let's just do infielders. See if that changes things up at all, or if we're just going to get a bunch of first basemen. Yeah, there's nobody here. Oh, David Fletcher. High contact, really good defense. 3.2 WAR last year, but he's a below average bat. No. Okay, so we're going to hold on to Buxton for now. And I am going to pick up the option on Paxton. I think it just makes sense. All right, so we picked up the option on Paxton. So let's look at arbitration, because you can always save a little bit of money in arbitration, right? So let's start with, okay, so Carson Kelly. Let's start. Joe Jimenez was down in AAA all year. Does anybody want Joe Jimenez? Because otherwise we'll non-tender him. No, I can't make any more offers. All right, let's just skip ahead a day so that we can reset our offers. And let's make sure we don't need any. Okay, so we're good here. Our scout is really good. Our trainer is okay. We didn't suffer any major injuries last year, so I'm not too concerned about that. All right, so let's go back to arbitration. And let's just see if anybody wants Jimenez. Otherwise, we'll non-tender him and pick up a couple $1 million in payroll relief, which we can use. No, just Yusei Kikuchi, which I'm not interested in. All right, so non-tender Joe Jimenez. We don't really need Harold Castro anymore. He can play a lot of positions, but his bat is just really, really bad. And he can't even play positions all that well, so we'll non-tender him as well. All right, so Austin Riley wants 4.4, so will he take 4.2? And I always like to offer contracts to these guys that I want to bring back rather than letting it go to arbitration, because when you offer them contracts, if they accept and they're fan favorites, you get that fan interest bump, which obviously which we need right now. So that will hold true for anybody. So, for any amount of money. So like this one we offered Willie Castro $25,000 less than what we were going to offer him in arbitration, and he'll accept it. And if the fans like him, we'll get a bump for it. So we'll go through and we'll do that with the rest of these guys. Cleonel Perez, $950. That's fine. We'll offer him $925. And again, it's all about saving, nickels and dimes here. So Victor Reyes is an interesting option. We've got some talented outfielders in the minor leagues that we could probably call up and do the same thing, like Daz Cameron. Not quite as good defensively, but especially with Buxton coming back, Parker Meadows could be that backup outfielder without any trouble at all, I think. So let's see if there's any interest in Victor Reyes. And again, we're really looking for those backup middle infielders, and yeah, it looks like just a bunch of trash. Okay, so we'll save another couple million there on Victor Reyes. And then we come down to Carson Kelly, who he's at 4.2, so we can offer him 4. And I'm able to do this because our other catcher, Ali Sanchez, is making the league minimum. Right. So, all right. So we've got contract offers out to Perez, Foster, Kelly, Riley, and Castro. We non-tendered Reyes, Castro, Jimenez, and Turnbull. Actually, he might not be bad as a backup. Yeah, he's not interested in talking to us right now because we kept him in the minors all year. That's fine. So are there any? Yeah, we need to bring Daz Cameron back if he's interested in coming back on a minor league extension. Anybody else here that I'm super fussed about? I don't think so. Really, I'm just basing it off stats. Yeah, there's nothing there that really blows my mind. So, all right, so that gives us... Okay, so we're going to have to figure out what to do with our ticket prices. That's the other thing. I'm going to bump them to $1,750. Because, I mean, that's ultimately how you're going to increase your money, your revenue, is if you bring more people in. So hopefully fan interest will increase as we move through the postseason here. We do have, and if we don't spend this money, I'm just going to dump it into scouting and development, as that's really our meal ticket. You know, we aren't going to be able to sign a lot of big money free agents, so it's got to be scouting and development for us that's going to get it done. Oops, just kicked the back of my desk. So let's go ahead and let's sim add. We're going to get stopped here a bunch of times as people agree to contracts, and hopefully we can get some fan interest boosts with some of them. Nope, doesn't look like the fans were all that interested in any of those players. So that's too bad, but that's fine. I missed this. We retired Justin Verlander's number. So good for Justin. Finally retired at the age of 39. All right, let's delete those. Let's go up to the awards. Austin Riley signed a contract. I thought there may have been a little bit of a bump there with Austin Riley, but no go. So I'm pretty excited about our team going into the offseason. We got a little bit of money to spend, which is unexpected. I'm not looking to trade Buxton at this point, but I may see, what's available or what options are out there once we hit free agency, and see if there's somebody different that I would like to pick up. So AL Gold Gloves, Buxton wins it there without much of a surprise. Next is your Silver Sluggers. It's got to generate the Cuban League season predictions first. Reliever of the year. So reliever of the year was Nick Anderson. Zach Pop finished second. So he's up to 4.5 star, 5 star. So we have our closer locked down for the next couple of years. We also had Alex Lang in there. Also awesome. Very nice. And I should take a look at some of the independent leagues because you can occasionally find kind of that diamond in the rough. Platinum Stick, nobody here for us. You can take a look. You can pause it if you want and see who won in the American League. Same thing in the National League. Zach McKinstry in this sim has turned into an animal. Wow. I picked him up in my Colorado Rockies playthrough on the GM channel and GM Games channel, and I hope he turns into this for me. That is something. All right, Rookie of the Year. We're going to have a couple players eligible for this. We didn't win it, but Royce Lewis, Jerkstad, Logan Gilbert, Ryan McKenna, and Torkelson finished 5th. Royce Lewis, good year for him. NL Rookie of the Year, Pavin Smith. Diamondbacks with 2 of the top 5, Pavin Smith and Alec Thomas. Manager of the Year, It's going to go to Seattle and Cincinnati. Let's see. Am I right? Seattle, Scott Servais, and nope, Dave Roberts. Marcus Semien signed a contract extension with Seattle. Posted players, anybody of substance here? Kota Futaki, no. No, and no. Actually, he's not bad. Oh, he's not very good either, but all right, let's go to Cy Young. Glasnow wins the Cy Young in the American League. 18-5, 2.46 ERA, 273 strikeouts. Lucas Giolito and Shane Bieber finished third and second. And in the National League, Aaron Nola, 15-9, 3.49 ERA. Sandy Alcantara finished second, and Carlos Carrasco, Cookie, finishes third. And only pitched half the season, 14-10 overall between the two teams. Struck out 218, stayed healthy, which is something for him. So good for Carlos Carrasco. And your MVPs. I gotta shut baseball cards off. I thought I did that already. Jose Ramirez. We didn't have anybody on this list at all. Jose Ramirez, 314, 35, 116. Vlad Guerrero and Austin Hayes finishes third. Ronald Acuna, Francisco Lindor with the Cincinnati Reds, and Manny Machado, top three in the National League. All right, so let's go ahead now to free agencies. We don't have any arbitration eligible cases, so we don't have to worry about that. So we'll just keep going until we get up to free agency. And I'll show you some of the, basic free agency stuff up front, who some of our targets will be and that sort of thing, and then cut away until we get to probably the Rule 5. So international free agents. Anybody any good? Omar Estrada, but he's 35. Nope. Okay. So before we look at free agency, what do we have for money? $30 million this year, $12 million next year. So, all right. Let's take a look at the offseason. Middle infield is really our target here. I think we're okay from a pitching perspective. And there's not a whole hell of a lot. That's too bad. Gene Segura, he's pretty good. He put up a good season last year for Philadelphia, 2 decent seasons in a row. Really has played, with the exception, well, even the COVID season, he was okay. So he might not be a bad option. Donovan Solano, he wants a lot of money, and there's a comp pick associated with him. Freddie Galvis is always out there as an option, as a good glove, no bat type shortstop. Hechavarria from Miami, right? Oh, I guess he was with LA last year. Cesar Hernandez, no. Well, this is a little disappointing. Jorge Mateo is a good ball player, but everybody hates him. Chad Pinder hit 200. JT Riddle's no good. Well, it's slim pickings for sure for the middle infield position. We could bring back Jonathan Scope. Yeah, that's not very good. All right, well, that's okay. I am not daunted. We will figure something out. And not a lot of good hitting talent at all, really. It's a really weak free agent class. I guess if you need a bat, Jose Abreu is there, but it's not a very good Not a very good batting class. Let's take a look at the pitchers. Maybe we can make an addition there. Jose Barrios, he wants $18 million, but I mean, and there's no compensation. Odorizzi, there's a comp pick there. Blake Trinan, Kirby Yates, Chris Bassett wants 14. We may be holding off on free agency this year, guys. It's nothing here that really knocks my socks off. We can bring in Robbie Ray, see if he can strike out 300 for us. Garrett Richards, Jameson Taillon, 10-10 with the Yankees. I mean, we don't need any bullpen arms. Our bullpen is completely fine. Mike Clevenger in his one season, we traded him away last year before he threw a pitch for us, pitched average for Minnesota. All right, so yeah, it looks like we may be holding off on free agency. Let's try this again and see if, now that people have a little bit more money, see, I saw Jacob deGrom's name come up there. Yohan Moncada. Oof. He's taken a step backwards. I'd really like somebody to offer me a starting second baseman, starting shortstop, and we can call it a day. What happened to... Wow, DeGrom is down to 1.5 stars. What the hell happened to him? He didn't get hurt, did he? I mean, nothing major. Oof, that's rough. Okay. Let's take a look at the roster real quick. So, from a catching perspective, we're set. I mean, do we trust Bryant Packard as our starting first baseman? I mean, I suppose we could always go lefty-righty, Packard and Welker as our starting first baseman, and then have Welker and Riley kind of splitting time at third. Yeah, I mean, we need an outfielder, or do we? Do we need an outfielder? What do we have in the minor league system currently? Not much, and I don't want to spend a lot of money. If we're gonna spend money, or if we're gonna pick somebody up that's gonna cost us money, let's go with second base, because we have Marcelo Meyer. Guys, hang on just a second. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, we were looking at our outfielders to see if we had anybody that could slot in. As I don't think Micker Adolfo is the answer out and right. So we've got Buxton, Torkelson, Meadows as our three outfielders right now. Cabrera, I don't think is quite ready yet. Dominic Fletcher could potentially platoon. I don't know. That contact worries me. So maybe an outfielder on a short-term deal might not be a bad play. A right fielder on a short-term deal, either as a backup or as a starting right fielder, and then Meadows can be that fourth outfielder. So let's look at that. That might be something we can go after. Whit Merrifield, I think he's just a left field. He can play all three outfield positions, and he doesn't want a ton of money. He only wants $9 million. Doesn't get on base at a super high clip. I'd really love a leadoff hitter. I mean, I know I'm asking for a lot here, so now I want a starting shortstop and second baseman. I want a right fielder who can lead off, but but I also don't want to spend a lot of money. So, there you go. There's just not a lot here, man. Not a lot available in free agency this season. I don't want to spend $27 million on Jose Abreu. Locane, $25 million. Yeah, there's just There's just not a lot here. All right. Well, maybe Michael Brantley. He can play left. We can move Torkelson to right. I mean, if he can stay healthy, what would Michael Brantley want? Can we do that? Can we do the old 3 years? And what about if we knocked it down to 8? Would you take that? He would. Okay. I'm comfortable with that. So that's kind of our typical 3-year, add on a couple of team options at the end, and we have enough money this year to cover it if he doesn't perform, and if he does, good for us. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead now and sim ahead to the Rule 5 draft. If we make any moves between now and then, I will keep you all informed. But we'll be back in just a sec. All right, we are back. It is Rule 5 draft time, and we have made a couple of deals, I think, to improve our middle infield position. And I'm actually really happy with both of these deals. So let's just jump right in and take a look at them. So first one was, you can see them both right here. So we traded Willie Castro, 25-year-old Willie Castro, to the Red Sox, picking up 30-year-old Nico Goodrum. I'll show you Nico here in a second. But Willie, did pretty good middle infielder. We knew what we were getting out of him, right? I mean, I talked a little bit about how his bat was super below average, decent middle infielder, okay speed, wasn't great with the bat. He's only 25, but that ARB number is going to start to increase here as we go forward. In return, we pick up Nico Goodrum. And what really sold me on Nico was his flexibility. I mean, he literally can play every position except pitcher and catcher, and he plays them all except for center field pretty well. He's also a captain, so he's a better fielder. He's got more speed, and he's going to provide a little bit more pop with the bat. So the average might be a little bit lower, but he's going to hit for more extra base and more extra base power. We actually had him in 2020 and 2021, and we believe we just didn't re-sign him, right? No, we traded him. No. Yeah, we just didn't re-sign him. We didn't offer him arbitration. You never know what you got until it's gone, I guess, is the moral of the story here. And then the second deal was also with the Red Sox. So I guess we made 2 separate deals, but they could have been one deal. The Red Sox kept trying to offer me Christian Arroyo, and I ended up taking it. They're going to keep 50% of his contract. We give up Joey Wentz. Wentz, 25-year-old. He's a number 91 prospect in baseball. Struggled for us last season, gave up 21 home runs in 84 innings. I mentioned that we might look to move on from him, and we did. The extreme fly ball pitcher is just not something I'm crazy about. And in return, we pick up Christian Arroyo. High leader, high loyalty, high adaptability, high work ethic, very, very good defensive second baseman. And, he's good for 15 to 20 home runs. I mean, look at his 2021. If he can replicate that for us, I will take it. My guess is he'll fall somewhere in between 2021 and 2022, and that's fine. So his contract, you can see 6.1, 8.3, 11 on 11, which means we're paying 3, 4, 5.5, 5.5. So it's not a huge contract. It's a lot, but I think having a veteran second baseman alongside a young shortstop and Marcelo Meyer, who will likely be up next season, is something we want to do. We are still waiting on. We made a contract offer to Freddie Galvis. We just said, as a 1-year stopgap, Freddie Galvis as a number 9 hitter and our shortstop is fine. So we made an offer to Freddie Galvis, and we're still waiting on the reply here from Michael Brantley. So we still have those out there. Let's take a look and make sure there's nobody we want to put on the 40-man. Let's stick Daz on there. I don't think there's anybody else. So Mason Hazelwood, he was our 9th round pick. He's already deteriorated, so let's go ahead and enable. Is there anybody here? No. Anybody in AA? No. Nobody there. And let's just check the Gulf Coast League. Nope, nobody there. Okay, so let's take a look at the Rule 5. So 8th. So we're going to end up with the 8th pick in the draft this upcoming season. That's not terrible. Let's see what we can find in the Rule 5. I haven't looked at this yet, so I have no idea what's even available. No pitchers. That's pretty clear. Oh, Brian Bello. Oh, he's with the Red Sox. I spent so much time just looking at the Red Sox that that it got me thinking that I was with the Red Sox. Bryson Brigman. He's 27. Hit really well in AAA last year. Maybe we go after a Bryson Brigman and save that 1.6 from Galvin. I don't know why I'm looking at it like this. All right, let's look at all batters. Akil Baddoo, who's sort of the darling of the beginning of the Major League Baseball season this year. I think we might go after Bryson Brigman. He's a good eye. Yeah. Let's draft him. They appreciate the new leadership. And I think that what that means is we're going to go in here and we are going to pending offers. We're going to remove the offer to Freddie Galvis. We have a lot of leaders on the team, so we don't need to spend any more money. Let's continue the draft. Let's go ahead and see if there's anybody else that we want to make a run at. I mean, I could take Baddoo and, have real life match the video game. But I don't think we're going to do that here. You can always find, flawed but decent players in these drafts. Like Devin Mann, I mean, he's got a good batting eye. He's good defensively, but doesn't do much else really well. He's a captain as well. MJ Melendez, he's always somebody I love picking up. Again, the catcher ratings, he can't hit, but he's a captain. Pablo Olivares. There are some decent players here. And here's the weird thing, right? Like, if I go in and I try to trade for him, like, they're going to want a legit, legit return, as it were. And I don't know that, I don't know how realistic that is. I mean, if you're willing to give him away for nothing, then, yeah, see, like, I have a ton of catching prospects, though. So I don't need Melendez. I have a ton of catching prospects. I'm just looking at Olivares because in another save I have, he turned out really, really good. So it's, you got to remember that one reality isn't the same as another. Livan Soto. Yeah, like, why would I do that? Why wouldn't I just take him and then trade him? You know what I mean? Like, if you really think that's what you can get for him, why wouldn't I just take him and try to move him? Which might be what I try to do here. So I'm going to unleash an interesting strategy here. So those are the players I wanted. So let's go ahead and complete the draft. So we took Brigman, Melendez, and Soto. And Brigman's the only one I think is going to actually stay on the team. Let's make him a shortstop again, because that's where we're going to have him. And then... So we got a ton of catchers. We got a ton of catchers, guys. We got Melendez, Proctor, Sanchez, and Kelly, and then we have Dylan Dingler in the minor leagues as well. So we got a ton of catchers. I don't want to move on from Carson Kelly. He's potentially the best bat of the bunch. I like Proctor's batting splits. He's never going to hit for a high average, or he's never going to hit for a ton of power, but he could legit be a leadoff hitter. I love Ali Sanchez, and Melendez has got the most pop. Like, he's going to hit for the most power. So they all do something interesting. So maybe it's Dingler who is the odd man out. So let's see if I do that. And see, Brigman's 27, which leads me to believe he's further developed. I bet I could get more for Soto than I could Brigman, so let's do that. Because ultimately, this is a one-year thing, because Meyer's going to be our starting shortstop in 2023, I guess. So a bat, I guess. First base bat, Alonso Rivas is a high contact kind of guy. Put up a 766 OPS. Oh, there's not much. They don't want to give up much in return for these two guys. Maybe a pitcher, ground ball pitcher, JT Brubaker. I mean, that's not bad, right? 101 walks is not great. I mean, that might not be a bad option. Logan Wyatt is a decent bat, but again, flawed. I mean, everybody's flawed, right? Like, I'm not going to find this offer isn't going to bring me an elite bat. I don't mind this Brubaker trade, though. They do. Theo does. Theo hates it. How old is he? He's 29. So they picked up Lawler with the first overall pick. He's the number 2 prospect. Wow, he's already in the bigs. Okay. Let's go back. Seth Beer, he's a decent bat. Can't hit, but he's a decent bat. Or can't field, but he's a decent bat against righties. Make another trade with the Red Sox. I could pick up Charlie Blackmon's $10 million contract, and I'm good. Yeah, there's not a lot here. Chad Green, I mean, he's injured. How long is he out for? 8 months. Will Crow's 28. Can't help but think I need another starting pitcher, especially with. I suppose we can make Jimmy Lambert our 5th starter, but that means we're not going to. I guess we've got Lothar as a potential, but we don't have much depth in terms of starting pitching. So we got Lothar and Cantillo. So maybe bringing in someone like Brubaker, or maybe we can get them both. Can we get them both? Where's Pittsburgh? Can we get Brubaker and Crow? If we can do that, I'll pull the trigger. What about Mitchie? Get Mitch. What about if we do that? So that's not a deal you would do. Okay, it's fine. So Brubaker and Crow. Yeah, they want something substantial in return, of which I'm not prepared to give up. Will Crow, back end Brubaker. I like the ground ballness, as it were. He walked too many batters last year, though. 4 pitches, below average stuff. Good command, good control. I don't know how accurate that is. Crow. A tendency to induce a ground ball. Good stamina. 4 good pitches. I like that. I like the Crow deal. What if we just do this? Wow, okay. So let's do that instead. Let's move Dingler for Crow. I'm okay with that. That improves our pitching staff with another solid back of the bullpen. I got to remove somebody from the 40-man. So Stewart, you'll get DFA'd. Yes. And we'll put Crow there. Did Nico drop to 2 stars, or was he, what is he listed as? A second baseman. What if we, I mean, I know this is all visual. It doesn't really matter, but what if I like seeing my players is better than 2 stars. I'm surprised that he's only a 2-star player with all of his ratings like this. Anyway, so, all right, so we added another starting pitcher, more starting pitching depth, which is never a bad thing. We worked from a position of strength, moving Dingler. We still have Kelly, Melendez, Proctor, and Sanchez as our catching situation, and I love the flexibility that we get from Welker being able to play first and third, Austin Riley being able to play first and third, Gordon being a middle infielder, Goodrum being able to play everywhere. Meadows being able to play all 3 outfield positions. So we've got some good flexibility, and we still have some trade chips like Adolfo. Levon Soto is somebody I'm probably going to move. He's only 22, so, I mean, potentially he gets better, but I like Brigman more. I just a little more developed, I think. I'm not entirely sure why I like him more, but I do. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead now and sim ahead to, well, let's do Hall of Fame voting. I haven't done that yet. Let's do the Hall of Fame voting. Carlos Beltran is a yes. Mark Burley for me is a yes. Todd Helton for me is a yes. Torrey Hunter and Andrew Jones. I love elite defensive center fielders. Jeff Kent deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. David Ortiz. Manny. There's my Red Sox loyalties coming out. We got 2 more. Vizquel and Scott Rowland. All right, so now we're going to sim ahead. I'm going to sim ahead to I'll sim ahead to the preseason and just come back with any quick updates, unless there are no updates, in which case I'll just move ahead to spring training. So I will be right back. Okay, it is time for preseason to start. So we are, from a financial standpoint, we have $15 million left this year, none next year. Our fan interest is up to 50, and I'll show you why here in a minute. Hopefully we play well, and that continues to improve. From a salary perspective, we jump up to $84 million next season. We did sign Michael Brantley. He did agree to come on to that 3-year contract, $8 million a year. If we need to, we can move on from Brantley and Paxton pretty easily next season. Carson Kelly is another one we're going to have to keep an eye on, as his ARB number is $7.5 million. My guess is his playing time this year will limit that, but we'll see. We did make an additional trade, and I don't know if you saw it there in the team salaries, but let's go to not there. Let's go here. We traded Micker Adolfo and Levon Soto within the division to the Kansas City Royals, getting Brad Keller, and they're going to retain 70% of his salary in return. So Adolfo, it just didn't happen for him last year with us, and we have some players coming up that are going to sort of bump him. So we moved Adolfo and Soto, who we picked up in the Rule 5 draft. And in return, we pick up Brad Keller. Keller's making 7.8 this year. We're only going to be paying him like 2.5. He's 27 years old. This is his last year. He's up. He's a free agent at the end of this season. Has had a couple of decent seasons. You look at, I mean, you can see he's good for about 2.5 to 3 WAR. If he can give us that this year, that will be fantastic. He's an extreme ground ball pitcher. He's out for another 5 weeks, so he should be back for spring training. So I like that deal for us. 2 players that didn't really have a future for somebody who, could either get us. Let's see what let's just take a look here. Yeah, I mean, he could potentially get us a first-round pick next season if he pitches well and we don't bring him back. So that was the final deal we made. I've made the decision that we're going to try to hold on to 3 catchers this year. We're going to try to hold on to Kelly Melendez and Sanchez. If Proctor has to start the season in AAA, he will. We have enough flexibility with our other players that I think we can pull this off. I don't want to move Proctor, but he's not. If I move him to shortstop, he drops down to 2-star or 2.5-star. He's an okay shortstop, but I like him better as a catcher. He's just not a very good defensive catcher. He's not a very good defensive shortstop either. He's got a decent bat. I don't know where he fits, but because he's 3 stars, I've been hesitant to move him. But having Nico Goodrum, who can play just about every position, Bruhan and Gordon can play both middle infield positions. First, third, and DH can be split between Riley, Welker, and Bryant. Parker Meadows can play all 3 outfield positions. We'll have Buxton, Brantley, and Torkelson as our outfielder with Meadows as the backup. So I think we're going to be in pretty good shape lineup-wise. We'll take a look here because when I come back, it's going to be opening day. I'm going to sim right up to spring training, right through spring training, and right to opening day. So I'll be back in just a minute, guys. All right, we are back. It is Monday, April 3rd, and apparently our final preseason game of the year went 22 innings. 22 inning preseason game. All right, so we're a couple days away from opening day. It was an okay. You can see pitching looked pretty good. Will Crow struggled, so so did Manning. We're going to have to sort out our bullpen, sort out our lineup. You can see we had some players who did not hit well. We had some players who did. Let's see, did anything interesting happen? I don't think anything interesting happened. I want to take a look. Oh, Melendez got hurt for 6 weeks, which is perfect. Keeps him on the DL for the first month of the season. I should have just moved him to the 60-day rather than putting him on the 15-day, but that's fine. Player development, anything of interest here? Skubal got better. That's good to see. Paxton got a little worse. That's to be expected as he's getting up there in age. Mize got better. Keller got worse. Really just looking for my young players, my prospects. Torkelson got better. That power's up to an 83. Parker Meadows got better. Buxton got worse. That's fine. All right, cool. So we're at 38 players, so we got to get down to 26. So let's look at pitching ratings. Send down the obvious ones first. Not that we have a ton of obvious ones. We have a pretty stacked pitching staff here. We can't send David McKay down. We got to send 5 more players down. I think. Let's look at stats. Lothar struggled. He struggled last year. Can we send him down? We can. Delaplane, I think we can send him down as well. So we're at 16. We got to get 3 more players. McKay, we'll just DFA. That's fine. So we got to send two more players down to the minor leagues, and it's a tough decision. We've got a really stacked. So we'll send DeGoyce down, I guess. We got to send 1 more player down. I mean, nobody pitched poorly. I mean, they certainly nobody deserves to be sent down. Is it Zach Hess? Yeah, I guess it's probably going to be Zach Hess. And let's see. Will Crow will go to the bullpen. We'll move Keller up. We'll go Paxton, Mize, Skubal, Keller, Manning. That works. Do we want to have... No, Zach Pop is our closer. Why do they have him as a specialist? That was killing me. I'm like, I know we have a good closer. Foster and Fernandez will be our will be our setup guys. Lang, Perez, and Vest will be our setup guys. Lambert will be long relief, emergency starting pitcher, as will Crow. Yeah, so Foster was really the only bullpen arm who pitched poorly, and he was one of my best pitchers last year. So pretty happy about the status of our pitching rotation right now. We've got some good young talent mixed in with some veterans. Hopefully Keller and Paxton will perform this year. And yeah, we got a lot of ground ball pitchers, which is nice too. All right, so that means we have to send 5 hitters down. So Fletcher, Waters, and Cameron. And we're just going to run with 4 outfielders. We played Parker Meadows in right field during the preseason, and you can see he immediately became elite at all 3. So Brantley can still play left. He's going to probably be my starting... How many more do we have to send down? 2 more. And then we're going to have to send a 3rd player down once we get Melendez back. So we're going to send Proctor down. We're going to send Brujan down. So that puts us at 26, right? So that puts us at 26. So we're going to have to figure out what to do once Melendez comes back. And honestly, it might end up being Nick Gordon who suffers. Who's our starting shortstop right now? Oh, so it is Gordon at short. No, I want Brigman start as... Okay, so, well, let's just clear the lineups. Clear the depth charts. So let's look at batting ratings. So the reason I picked up Michael Brantley is I want him to bat leadoff. And he's going to bat leadoff and play... I mean, my one fear sticking him in left field is that he's going to get hurt. But we're going to start him in left. Torkelson's going to be our number 4 hitter, I think. He's a righty. No, we're going to bat him 3rd. No, we're going to bat him 4th. Stick him in right. No, I don't. I want to do this. I want Brantley to be my DH. Buxton. I don't know where I want to bat Buxton. Who's my number 3 hitter? That's a problem. Brantley makes sense as the number 3 hitter, but maybe if I do this, and then against lefties, or against righties, we stick Parker Meadows in there in right field. I don't want to go righty-left. I don't want to go righty, lefty, lefty, righty. So I would rather have... I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. We do that. No, we're going to move Buxton down in the lineup, I think. Packard's going to play first. Carson Kelly is my starting catcher. And then Christian Arroyo will play second. So I think we're going to do something like that. So Brigman, Meadows, Brantley, Torkelson, Riley, Packard, Buxton, Arroyo, and Kelly. Let's see what it does with the depth charts. Meadows, Goodrum in right, Goodrum at first. Welker coming in there every 7th game. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Welker's got such a good bat, though. I think I want to do this and have him come in like that every 5th game. So that means Walker will play 3 games, 3 days a week. Once Melendez comes back, I think Gordon goes down and we make Goodrum the backup, kind of backup at all 3 outfield positions. I think that's the plan. So let's copy this. Let's paste it here. Now, in this particular case, because we're going with one less bat in the lineup, I think it makes more sense to leave Parker Meadows out there and run with a lineup that looks kind of like that. Yeah, so Kelly and Sanchez are basically going to play every other game, and I'm fine with that. Against righties, Brantley will play every second game for Torkelson. I don't know about that. It's every fourth game. And I'd rather have Brigman out there playing shortstop, so we'll do that. If we go against lefties, things are going to change a little bit. We're going to put Welker in. We're just going to get Welker in the lineup. We're going to put Brantley in left field. Welker's going to play first. Torkelson will move to... I guess it doesn't really matter. Torkelson will move to DH. And yeah, see, Goodrum's better against righties as well. Packard's actually the best of the bunch in terms of hitting against lefties, so we'll leave him out there. We'll move him down in the lineup some, though. Arroyo against lefties is pretty good, and we'll run like that. So let's copy that lineup, and let's paste it. Get Packard out, Arroyo, and Kelly. Again, I don't really want Gordon playing every second game. I want to see what Brigman can do. I think he's going to be a high contact, high on base guy. He's not going to hit for a lot of power, but if he puts up a 350 OPS out of the leadoff spot, we may end up changing that at some point too. If he doesn't get it done, we can move Parker. In fact, I think we might do this so that we can split it up left, right, left, right, left, right. I would prefer that. Is this the lineup I want against? Yeah, I want Welker in that number two hole. Good contact, really good gap power. Yeah, that works. And then Brantley against lefties. He should probably move down the lineup. He's not as nearly as good a hitter against lefties, so we'll do this. That works. Cool. So I think we are all set, right? Let's sim ahead up to opening day, and we'll take a look at some of the opening day notes, and then we'll call it an episode here. I love the 22-inning game on getaway day in spring training. Those are usually some of the fastest baseball games you'll ever see. Biggest strike zones, players swinging at everything. They just want to get the preseason over with. But in out-of-the-park baseball, they play 22 innings. Torkelson, 9 home runs during spring training. Led the majors in OPS. That's nice. Generating all of the preseason predictions for all of the various leagues. All right, stay close to an even record. Top 100 prospects. We have the number 2 prospect. Everybody else has graduated, so to speak. Where is Meyer now? It's number 13. Okay. He'll start in AA. He'll probably end the season in AAA. But let's take a look at minor league systems. We are still number 1. We've got number 2 in Elijah Green. Number 12 in Luis Zarate, who's up to 5 stars. Let's get an accurate scouting report on him. Myers, 13th. Christian Santana. Where did we get him from? International free agent on 115. And then Parker Meadows is 73rd. So that's nice. Preseason predictions have us going 86 and 76. I would take that in a heartbeat. 9 games behind the Indians, 709 runs, middle of the pack. Pitching, 3.78 ERA, looks to be good for fourth in the American League. Top strikeout team, so that's nice. Anybody listed here for us? No, anybody listed here for us. They have Paxton going 12-12 with a 3.71. I would take that. Let's see. Anything else we want to look at? Let's just look at our pipeline really quickly. Green, Zarate, Maya, Santana, and Meadows. Braylon Bishop, who was our second-round pick last year, or I think he was our first supplemental pick, I think is actually where he was, is 1.5 star, 2.5 star. He's still in rookie ball. We might want to consider moving him up at some point. Hector Cardenas is 19. Michael Ciani, who we picked up last year, just an elite defensive center fielder. If I could have him and Meadows on the team at the same time, that would certainly ease the blow of losing Buxton whenever that happens. Juan Pacheco, Drew Waters, another trade chip last season. Roberto Campos, he's a 19-year-old who was wanted in a lot of trade offers that we had made. A lot of teams wanted him, so because a lot of teams wanted him, I said, you can't have him, and we're going to see what he turns into. So I think we are good to go. I think our offense is going to be much improved. I think our pitching staff is going to be much improved. We have a very, very good bullpen, and we have 3 of the top 15 prospects in all of baseball, so things are looking good for the Detroit Tigers this season. So when we come back next episode, I'll probably just come back at the end of April with the start of the next episode. We can kind of just do a really brief overview of the team, and then we'll sim ahead up to that July 1st date again. So let me know your thoughts about our off season. I think it was pretty successful. We still have a little bit of money to spend this season if we need to. That obviously that number will drop if we don't perform. We upped our ticket prices. Attendance is expected to be down, but if we play well, obviously that will change. So yeah, let me know what you thought of our off-season moves, bringing in Brantley, bringing in Brad Keller, hanging on to Buxton, and until we talk again, everybody take care. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.